planning to tie it into some kind of October surprise with the Obama administration, whether it's Ron Paul or a Mitt Romney that is running against him. Because remember, we wrote articles about this around a year ago. Top neocons intimately tied in with the Israeli lobby came out and openly said to Obama, if you attack Iran, we will support you. So that's the only ticket that many people see Obama has to, getting re-elected, is to go ahead and attack Iran and pose as this war leader and then claim that you can't, change horses in the middle of a race, just like Bush did in 2004.
And, of course, the classic October surprise was the 1979 Iranian hostage crisis, which was itself tied in with the Iran-Contra scandal, which helped push Reagan into office, take out Carter, another globalist puppet. Your comments on that, Paul, because it's been a long time coming, this longer war against Iran for global domination.
Well, precisely, but they need the right pretext. I mean, it's interesting. Today there's an article actually cut by Avi Perry out of the Jerusalem Post, and this is a former Israeli intelligence official. He says, quote, the Iranian attack on a military vessel, on an American military vessel, will serve as a justification and a pretext for a retaliatory move by the U.S. military against the Iranian regime. And he basically makes the point that a U.S. military aircraft carrier is going to sail into the Strait of Hormuz just as it did a couple of weeks ago when Iran said, get out and don't come back. And Iran is going to attack it, which will provide the pretext for a wider war. But of course, we know back in January 2008, there was a similar situation in the Strait of Hormuz where this U.S. warship was in the area, supposedly got a warning from Iranian PT boats that they were going to attack it. Of course, the tape turned out to be completely bogus, but it led to a discussion, according to Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Seymour Hersh in Dick Cheney's office, about how they could create the right incident which the American public will support by creating this false flag attack at sea where Iran supposedly attacks a US vessel and then America and Israel is forced to respond. So it's interesting that top former Israeli intelligence officials are now floating that exact scenario, which would provide the perfect pretext for an attack.
Well, I want to say this about the pretext, because we know all these think tanks have done extensive studies. I think it was Brookings that did Which Path to Persia, and it considered a number of scenarios, the kind of false flag attack, also building a cover revolution, building up resistance, using sanctions, airstrikes, all kinds of different scenarios. The question is, which model are they planning to go with? But the final question I put to you on Iran is, what do they think about all these military and intelligence experts coming forward, either supporting Ron Paul's candidacy or saying, no, we don't want a war with Iran? There's been a lot of people coming forward.
Well, yeah, I mean, the most contributions financially out of all the Republican candidates combined, as well as more than Obama, go to Ron Paul, because there's a significant portion in the military who see through this. They see through the deception with Iraq and the whole weapons of mass destruction farce, and they see it repeating again. So whether there's resistance inside the military remains to be seen. But we know for a fact that, the US and Israel admit launching cyber attacks against Iran. They've decimated Iran's economy with these economic sanctions. They're killing their scientists. They're blowing up military bases, sending warships to patrol their waters. And we're told Iran is the belligerent party in all this. If China were doing all that to the United States, if China were sailing, warships in the Gulf of Mexico, what would the response be? Iran is already under attack through all these methods, and it's only going to intensify the closer we get to this crucial election for the Obama administration.
And we know it's a danger on the homeland, too. They've already tried the false flag where the guy supposedly tied to Iran, who was from Texas, was going to help the drug gangs assassinate the ambassador. That didn't work. It didn't sell to the public, but they'll probably look to stage something else, Paul.
Well, precisely, and according to polls, 50% of the American people already support an attack on Iran. So they've already got half the country hoodwinked, and they probably just need to tip that balance to go ahead. And eventually it's going to come back on America because, of course, China gets all their cheap oil through Iran, and this is partly about curtailing Chinese influence in the region. I mean, Obama just came out a few days ago and said the primary focus of America's empire over the next 5-10 years is the Asia-Pacific region. So they're already moving to knock over the last few dominoes in the Middle East, and they're moving towards Asia, moving towards that confrontation with China, which this is a pretext and an hors d'oeuvre for.
It's hard to imagine that it won't just further destroy the economy. Let's hope they don't do this war with Iran. Paul, thanks for joining us, and we'll, of course, speak more with you on that as there are more updates, and you'll be publishing articles at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Good evening, and thanks.
Thanks, Aaron.
And that's it for tonight's Infowars Nightly News. Don't forget, we have specials for those who are willing to help support this broadcast and join PrisonPlanet.tv. You can get 44% off of a membership right now, I believe, or you can try the 15-day free trial, see everything that we have to offer, and decide then if you want to support us. We do count on that support. We're not supported from bailouts or big corporations like the prostitute media you see on television. So help us get that message out and reach more people before it's too late. Good night.